I'm Gary Franchi, Next News Network Chief White House Correspondent, with everything that moved out of the White House in the last 24 hours, brought to you alongside our streaming partner, Trump Daily Post. Now, President Trump just delivered the largest prescription drug price drop in more than 60 years. He also brought a 16-year-old lifeguard into the Oval Office to shake the hand of the boy that was pulled out of the surf. Tax refunds are up 17%, and the First Lady brought another child home. And here is the day, hour by hour. In a White House statement this morning, First Lady Melania Trump reunited another child with their mother after the two were separated by the Russia-Ukraine war. That makes 34 children return to their families since she wrote her peace letter to Vladimir Putin. 34. No summit, no press tour, just kids going home. And from today's pool report, the president's schedule ran closed all day, executive time at 8, his intelligence briefing at 11, the Oval Office greeting at 1, and a policy meeting at 4. At 11:48, the press office called a lunch lid until 12:45. Then at 1:22, the pool got pulled from lower press and marched to the Oval Office. Once inside, President Trump recognized Ryder Williams, a 16-year-old California State Parks lifeguard who saved 10-year-old Nathaniel Rye from powerful waves at Seabright State Beach in Santa Cruz. Both boys stood there with their families and Santa Cruz public safety officials. Shane Williams told the room how proud he is of his son. The president turned and thanked Shannon Williams for raising him. At 2:12 p.m., staff ushered the press out after a Q&A that ran through foreign policy and the ballroom. Now, here's what happened in between. President Trump said, quote, "I've never seen something quite like this," and kept steering reporters back to the lifeguards every time they tried to change the subject. He took questions on Iran and Oman. When a CNN reporter cut in, he called her disrespectful and fake news. And young Ryder Williams gave his own generation a line worth repeating: "Try to look out for everybody around you." The White House called a travel and photo lid at 6:22 p.m. this evening. And now the policy prescription drug prices in the country, they just posted their steepest annual decline since, ready for this, 1963. Down 3.9% since President Trump took office, with non-prescription drugs down 2.4%. The most favored nation deals cover roughly 86% of the branded market, and price on GLP-1s, fertility drugs, and insulin have been cut 50 to 90%. TrumpRx has already saved patients $700 million. The VA banked over $10 billion in pharmaceutical savings this fiscal year alone. Every president since Nixon promised this, and only one of them did it. In total, tax refunds are up 17% year over year off the working families' tax cuts. No tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. Central Command Commander Admiral Brad Cooper also wrote in the Wall Street Journal about his visit to the USS Abraham Lincoln, more than 260 days at sea, over 150 of them in a combat zone. He said the food and hot water complaints the press ran have been fixed, and the crew is still one of the sharpest afloat. According to the daily guidance, Tuesday is going to run some closed press again. Executive time at 8, then policy meetings at 11 noon, 2:30, 4, and 5. Pool call time is 9 a.m. So the takeaway is simple. Quiet Monday on paper produced the biggest drug price drop in 6 decades. A 17% jump in refunds, 34 children home, and a teenager from Santa Cruz standing in the Oval Office next to the boy he saved. And that's your White House Rundown.